and we had a surprise wedding for our family at the house. And we had the wedding, we got married, and then we decided to go to our local swinger club afterwards because we had so many people in town.
Welcome to Normalizing Non-Monogamy, the podcast where we interview incredible people from across the entire spectrum of non-monogamy to hear their fascinating stories. We strive to bring guests on the show who have a healthy approach to non-monogamy. However, it's important to remember that everyone does it a little bit differently, and the views and opinions expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect our own.
Additionally, we produce this show for entertainment purposes only. Please be aware that we aren't doctors or therapists. Consult a medical professional for anything regarding your health that you might learn about on the show. Enjoy!
Welcome to episode 120. We're Finn and Emma, and today we have an interview with Loq and Tryst.
No.
Tryst and Loq.
Thank you. They are the hosts of the Livin The Suite Life podcast. And actually today is their 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, we were doing a little creeping on their show earlier and noticed that it was their 1-year anniversary. So congratulations.
Congratulations, you two. It's awesome. And they're doing really great stuff. They are actually doing like live Q&A type show that they record off of YouTube.
Yeah.
So check them out. They're doing something a little different. And the interview today, super fun, super lighthearted, lots of laughs. They are balls of energy.
Yeah.
And it's
a great one.
It is. It's a lot of fun. So we hope you enjoy it. And thank you to them for joining us and for creating the work they do.
Quick announcement. Our Patreon next Q&A is actually tonight. And we just want to mention it quickly. We're doing these monthly Q&As, video Q&As, where you can come on and ask us questions or ask the group questions, and then they turn into really great discussions. So if you're interested in that, we'd love to have you join us. We also have another announcement for our Patreon members. We're starting a women's group, and I will be leading this one with the help of a fellow patron, which I'm really excited about. We're going to be starting with video discussions once a month, and the first one will be in a few weeks. So if you are interested in that, also go check out our Patreon.
And just to clarify, and this is something that we really try to be inclusive on, that it's a women's group, but it is open to anybody who identifies as a woman or as a female.
Exactly.
So please reach out if you have any questions. And if you're looking for community, the monthly Q&A and the women's group are really great opportunities here to make some connections while we're locked down.
Yeah.
So we hope to see you. And for all of our existing patrons, thank you so much for your ongoing support and for making these discussions amazing. You know who you all are, and thank you.
You may be wondering, how do I find out more about this? Well, go to our website, normalizingnonmonogamy.com, and click on the button that's labeled Patreon. And you can go and see all of the details there.
While you're there, you can also look at our resources page, see all of the other things we recommend. You can go to the show notes for every single episode. You can see pictures of our guests. You can see resources of anything we talk about. For example, on today's episode, you can go and find all of the information about the Livin The Suite Life podcast on their page. So please check all of that out while you're there, and maybe shoot us an email, say hello, or drop us a voicemail, say hello.
Mm-hmm.
We'll send you one back.
We will.
We'll say hello.
And finally, a quick programming note. You may have noticed at the end of last week that we mentioned this week was going to be an interview with Laura and David. And they actually reached out to us, and for some personal reasons,
Personal reasons. Nether regions.
We just needed to push back their interview for a little bit. So it will be coming out just in a few more weeks. So you get to hear Tryst and Loq today instead.
Absolutely. And it really wasn't their nether regions. That was a bad joke.
That was a Finn joke.
That was a perfect joke. Thank you.
Let's go listen. Well, tonight we have Loq and Tryst with us, and you guys have your own show, and we're really excited to hear your story. And
yeah, we're going to take 20 episodes and consolidate them down into an hour. And maybe we'll even pull some secrets out of you guys that no one's heard before. So maybe if you don't mind introducing yourselves,
yes.
we'd love it.
Sounds like fun. First of all, thank you guys for having us. Big fan of your work. Really appreciate all the good stuff you're putting out there.
Thank you.
You're doing great work for the non-monogamous culture here.
Yeah. Well, likewise, thank you, and thanks for coming on. And we're happy to be able to promote and help other creators in the space. So we're happy to do it.
Awesome. Well, I'm Loq, and she is my beautiful wife, Tryst. We are 38 years old. She's about a month older than me.
It's not even
never
month.
let
It's
her
less
forget
than 30 days. It's not even a whole month. And he says that. He's like, you're my cougar. But no, technically, it's less than 30 days.
I do the same thing.
I'm less than 6 months older than he is, and he still does the same thing.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
We got something in common, Finn.
We both like cougars. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's right. Cradle robbers.
Yes. Well, I am Tryst, and we have a live feed podcast called Livin The Suite Life that we actually do a live chat on YouTube, and we post the episode to our podcast on iTunes.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, and we were just talking a little bit before this on you're brave to go live because we haven't taken that leap, and so we look up to you for that. So
thank
well
you.
done.
Thanks a lot.
So maybe, I don't know, are you willing to take us back to the beginning of why?
Well, first off, like, how long have you guys been together? And like Finn said, kind of where has your relationship gone?
Okay.
Or come from?
Who should start the story, me or you? Because we debate this all the time.
Well, the one who got his heart broken should tell the story.
Okay.
So we started out 20 years ago in high school. We were high school sweethearts in senior year. She was Miss Popular. She was the beautiful prom queen. I was just your regular Joe Blow.
Oh,
I was lucky enough to have her in my life, and we dated through senior year. Then I broke up with him and going to college. Yeah. So I wrote him a Dear John letter. And it was one of those, I'm going away to school. I don't think it's going to work out. I was the guy in the situation, right? Like, I broke up with him and had this whole thing, like, I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to school and all that. She wanted to sow her wild oats in college.
I did. So we broke up, but we kept in touch with each other. And then about 13 years later, we just met back up again. Of course, at that point, we're adults. We both had kids, and then we decided to get back together. Yeah. And we've been together ever since, and we've been married for 4 years.
Almost 4 years.
Yeah, almost 4 years, but we've been back together since 2013.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks.
It's pretty cool that you found each other again after 13 years.
Yeah, we did, and it wasn't without any strife. Let's just say. I mean, I was in a relationship. I was engaged for a while. That didn't work out, and it was just around the same time where she was going through a divorce.
Yeah. So it was the perfect storm.
Yeah. We just kind of commiserated, and let's try this thing again.
Yeah. Now we've been back together for almost 7 years, and we have 3 kids, 3 girls, and no pets, 3 rambunctious girls.
Yeah, we're busy enough.
Yeah, and we have a baby. We just had a baby.
Yeah.
She's only a year old. So, they have a wide range.
Yeah. Well, you have your hands full.
Yes.
Definitely.
And at what point did you decide, it sounds like maybe I'm just going to jump to a conclusion and say that Tryst hadn't sown all of the wild oats that she wanted to sow.
No, so it was his idea. It was his idea.
Yeah, that's right. Throw me under the bus. But yeah, it was my idea. Actually, I got the idea from my younger brother. That's right. My younger brother was hipping me to the lifestyle game. He and his girlfriend at the time, they went to a local swinger club, and they would come back with all these crazy stories. And this was just like the most adult thing. It's so sexy. It's hot. And, you get to watch people having sex. It's just mind blowing. And, I was single at the time, and I couldn't find anyone that wanted to participate. But then when she and I got together, I started telling her the stories, and her response is just magical. When I told her about this club, what did you say?
So when we going?
Yes.
And that was it. It was really, that was like, so where we going now? Here are all these stories I want to go see.
Yes. And I went ring shopping that following weekend.
Yes.
So this is how many years ago then?
almost 7.
7 lifestyle. Yeah.
Almost 7 years ago. Lifestyle.
So it was pretty much right out of the gate, right after you got back to
Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
He's quick on math.
Yep.
You got it. Yeah.
So was there any concern on either part of you? Like, so I could see, right, it sounds like Tryst was like, hell yeah, let's go. Mm-hmm. On your side, Loq, were you like, whoa, hey, I wasn't expecting to be that gung-ho about it?
Not at all. Man, I was waiting for the golden ticket.
Mm-hmm. We started looking up places and different clubs to go to and what you had to do to get into the place. Mm-hmm. And then we went.
I mean, but we did do our research early on. We actually started out listening to podcasts, and like I said, I had my younger brother to lean on, he and his wife, to ask a lot of questions before we set foot in the place. But that still doesn't do anything for like the sticker shock when you actually walk in.
When you get there.
Right. Yeah. When you walking in the door for the first time, you're kind of nervous.
And they give you that secret ID number.
Yeah. Everything is kind of clandestine. It's kind of cool, but,
so what was that first experience like for the two of you? And
more importantly, do you have to alternate nights with your brother to make sure you're not there at the same time?
Not anymore. He is on the West Coast.
Yes. So yes. And we used to. We used to have, but we still do though. We don't go to the same places at the same time. So even if it's like resorts or anything like that, we never go to the same place at the same time. The only time we broke that rule was when we got married at our house that we have now. And we had a surprise wedding for our family at the house. And we had the wedding, we got married, and then we decided to go to our local swinger club afterwards because we had so many people in town. Mm-hmm. So they were here, of course, as we got married. So that was the only time we broke that rule.
So the wedding was a combination of friends, family, and lifestyles and swingers. Yes.
Yeah. And the owner of the club was at our wedding too. So it was a big mix of people.
Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Emma. So
how was that first night? We'll jump forward in a minute, but
the first night
was scary. Because we went on anything, everywhere. What is it called?
Anything, anywhere. Yeah.
Anything, anywhere.
Where anything goes.
Yes.
At any part of the club, you're liable to see, sex at the bar or someone receiving oral sex on the couch and the dance floor.
Yes.
Anything,
right?
Yeah.
So we didn't know. We just picked the night. So we went, and there were single males there that night as well. Mm-hmm. So it was frightening. It was like a deer in headlights. We were locked arm in arm, like walking in the door, and it was just very scary.
Yeah, we just didn't know what to expect. You know, you have all these preconceived notions, and that's something that we always try to tell people about. Like you're going to have these beliefs that that are all trumped up in your head, thinking that, the worst things are going to happen. Like when you walk through the door, someone's going to grab your woman or it's just going to be sex and bodies all over the floor.
You're just going to be stepping over bodies of people,
But that couldn't be further from the truth.
It wasn't that at all.
Wasn't that at all. And it took us a little while to kind of get comfortable, but it wasn't nearly as terrifying as we thought it would be.
Right.
Had you laid out like ground rules for that first night? Like tonight, it's just us. We're just here to watch. Or were you like, hey, tonight we're no rules, no holds barred. We're going for it.
I wish I could say it was the sexier of the two choices, but it was definitely, we walked in there scared. And we knew that it was just going to be us that night. We just wanted to see what it was going to be. We wanted to see what happens. And I mean, my mind was still blown. I was still completely satisfied just seeing boobs. I mean, it was just like my first time just like seeing boobs just walking around.
Yeah, it's like they let you walk around like that.
Yeah, it was amazing. So
yeah. So after that first night, it sounds like you made you made more appearances at that club because then eventually the club owner you said was at your wedding.
Yes. Our first year, that first experience, we went home and we started looking up other places to go to. And that first year we went to a lot of places. Yeah. We went to Trapeze in Georgia. We drove there from where we are. It's 9 hours driving. So we drove there and went to Trapeze. We took friends down there and went there too.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That wasn't the first year.
Sorry to interrupt you, but she was asking how did we basically build that relationship with Vicky.
Oh.
And we would go every single month.
That's true.
It was like after that first time, we did start planning out more trips and
we did
checking out more clubs up and down the East Coast. But we definitely made it a point to go back to that club every month. Once a month.
We did go once a month. And then it didn't hurt that we won the Halloween contest our first year too.
So you became not little, but you came celebrities within your network pretty quickly.
Kind of. We did not really celebrities, but we made a lot of friends.
Yeah.
So it is funny because we just did an interview with Vicky recently, and she remembers the costumes that we were wearing. And that's almost 7 years ago. Yeah. So we're like, wait, you remember what we were wearing when we won? She was like, yeah, we was a Chip It Down the Showgirl. I was like, yep.
We'll send you guys some pictures.
Yes, we definitely was. We went up there and shook our asses and we won a trip to Hito.
Yeah.
So it was worth it.
Wow, that is worth it.
So for people who are like, okay, we're going to go, or there's maybe people listening who are like, well, I've been going to the club for 5 years and I still don't have any friends. Well, you guys made a whole bunch of friends right out of the gate. Maybe what was your secret to pulling that off?
That's a good question. I wouldn't say that there was a secret. I'd say it was more just not being afraid to be yourself. You go through the door, your genuine self, and people kind of gravitate towards that. They see you just being you. They see that you're having fun with each other. That's first and foremost. We never used each other to be a ticket to get in the door. I know I facetiously mentioned that earlier. She was my golden ticket, but in reality, people gravitated towards us because they saw how in love we were. And they knew that coming into our circle, they were just joining in the fun. You know what I mean? I wasn't in there to go find other women. She wasn't in there to go find other men. We brought in just people.
And not just that, also, we got lucky in some regard. We have really good host couples that kind of introduced us to different people because they actually knew a lot of people. So when you go to this particular social club here that's in Maryland, it's called Taboo Social Club. When you go there, they have host couples. And they have these too at other places. But their host couples there, they are like with you when you are new. They introduce you to people. They show you around throughout the night. They make sure you're okay. They, take you and make sure that you have a friend to talk to or to meet. So we got really lucky. We had really good host couples. And then from there, we just met so many people.
Yeah. Just kind of build your network.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I'd venture to guess too that you both are pretty extroverted as well.
He thinks he's not, but he is.
I would say I am a social introvert. Yeah.
I beg to differ at times, but okay.
I mean, it takes a lot out of me, though, like to go to the clubs and to go to Desire or Hito and engage a group of people that you don't know, and you're talking, you're trying to make people laugh, and you're trying to be all gregarious and friendly and let people know that you're open and be a part of this. And it zaps me. You know what I mean? It takes a little bit out, and I like to just afterwards go to the room and have a drink and just chill for a little bit and recharge the batteries.
We can completely relate to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have to tell myself, like, we kind of actually, like, when we go to the club together, we'll talk together for like a good half hour and like psych each other up. Like, okay, we're gonna go talk to some people, and then we do it, and then it doesn't go real well, and we have to like regroup.
Hey.
So yeah, it's not all magic for us either.
We've had good experiences too. We just also have had bad experiences.
Yeah, I think everyone have had some bad experiences before. Yeah.
Well, I think maybe one thing, if you're okay sharing too, right, along those same lines, that you, after that first night, it sounds like you guys left, and obviously you dove in more or less all the way. Along that way, have there been any like speed bumps or any hurdles you've had to overcome between either the two of you or individually along the journey?
Yes, absolutely. When it comes to jealousy, I had a little spell of jealousy early on. we didn't jump too deep into the deep end early on. We started off with soft swap.
We were exhibitionists.
Yeah, very, very much so in the beginning. But then once we started working our way to soft swap, kind of girl play, then the guys kind of would get in with your partner and everything like that. But once we started to get into the full swap thing, that's where it was a little bit heavy on me early. And I recall one time was it Christmas Eve? Was it the Christmas Eve time?
I don't remember.
I think it was Christmas Eve. I remember the red and white stockings. So she had the red and white stockings. I do remember that. So it was like around our first time, like doing the full swap, and there was just like a miscommunication between the other guy and myself, where he mentioned like he said that he got signals from Tryst at another time, and I misheard it. And I thought that he was saying that he was chatting with her on the side, and
yes.
It was just a mental downward spiral of insecurity and just fucked upness.
Yeah, and I was sitting there looking at him like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it was bad. You know, I just got really, really insecure. I got really in my feelings about like everything. And, you know, of course you start asking your questions. Is he bigger than me? And you just get really, really insecure. But we talked it out.
Yeah, we had to take a pause during that session and say, look, all right. And I'm just like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but that's not what's going on. Yeah. But I need you to get it all out so we can talk this through.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we had sex and she made it all better. So yeah, it was all good. It was all good. But it was tough. I mean, and I can imagine for anybody, the first time you see your partner having sex with another person, it'll be a little jarring. You know, but
yeah, it definitely can be.
If you're not ready, right. If you're not really emotionally ready for that, it can set you back a little bit. But
yeah,
we
or even if you think you are, and then you realize that maybe I thought I was and I'm not.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, honestly, we've seen too where people have been doing, been full swap couples for years, and then there's still something can come up, or there's an issue, or there's just a trigger that you didn't know was there, and it happens. So it's
not my proudest moment.
No, but I mean, it seems like you guys worked through it fairly gracefully, and has that been mainly the only real hiccup that you've had?
I think so. I mean, we've had some instances where, you know, I try to hit the gas a little too quickly.
Yes.
In certain situations.
So he's the gas all the time and I'm the brake.
Yeah. I'm the one that says, go, go, go. We can do this. This is going to be great. Let's have fun here. What are we doing?
And I'm the brake say, wait. Like, let's talk about and think this through a little bit more. And it works out because he's like, okay, you were right.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
I mean, I've definitely gotten my hand slapped before.
He has.
So what's, I guess, maybe an example of that? Because I think, again, that's another common dynamic that we see where, and it's not always the man who's the go, 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 but, or it can be either partner. Like,
sure.
How does that look and how do either of you sort of handle that? It sounds like, Tryst, you don't have too much trouble slapping them down a little bit on occasion.
No.
Not at all.
No.
What that looks like was, I can give a very specific example. You know what I'm talking about? The house party?
Yep.
Or the hotel party? Yeah, it was a hotel party. Yeah, it was a hotel party back when we first got started. And I was pretty excited. I was very excitable. You know, I've learned to calm down now, but very excitable. It was a new group. This was like our first time going to one of their events. And it was, again, in a hotel room, hotel suite. And then they got around that clock hour where they say, you know, let's start undressing. Let's start setting the mood and let's start having massages. And me, I turned into a walking talking penis. Yes. So I was very excited and, you know, here we go, boobs again, right? Never seen them before until now. So I'm very excited and I wanted to clarify,
Tryst does have boobs, so it's not.
Yes, she does. I have boobs.
Spectacular boobs. They are wonderful. But I was very excitable, and once the massages started going around, I was ready to just like find out where we were going to go with the play session. But my wife was like, I'm not feeling it. I don't really care for what's happening here in this crowd. I'm not, it was no shade to the crowd, but she just didn't have a connection with anyone.
Right.
She wasn't feeling the connections that I was feeling. And she let me hear about it. Yep. I mean, I didn't get yelled at or anything, but we ended up leaving the party pretty early, and we had to have a talk in the car. And again,
we had to have a couple's time out.
Yeah, it was a down boy.
Which is really hard to do. I mean, if you're in the middle of stuff and you can see your partner's really having a great time, it's really hard to pull that ripcord and get out of there. So props to you, Tryst, for being able to do that, because we've heard from a lot of people and we've experienced it ourselves where it's to just be like, no, I need to get out of here. That's not an easy thing to pull off.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, we've been better about that. That was really early on. So we've been really good about when we're like in situations, kind of talking that pre-talk and knowing where each other is and what the expectations are.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's still the gas. He's still, that part hasn't changed a lot. It's just not on that level at the beginning.
Right.
And actually that leads to the next question I had too, was what does your relationship look like now? Are you still primarily swingers? Have you tried different forms of non-monogamy, or I guess what does that look like?
That's a good question too. We are still primarily swingers.
Yeah.
We're almost too busy to do anything else with all the kids running around. Like I don't know if we told you the whole gamut of the children. Like we have one kid about to graduate high school. So she's trying to get herself in college. Then we have a middle schooler, and then we have a baby. So, I'll take the swinger lifestyle right now. We want to kind of dibble and dabble in kink. We're learning that the kink community is something very exciting there.
Yeah.
We've had an experience with a unicorn that kind of just broke us in a little bit. We pulled out a flogger and she taught us some things. Taught me some shit about myself. Like I had no idea I liked that shit. I had no clue.
So, but I think that we're still, swingers for the most part.
Not necessarily. No polyamory. Like we don't have like a dedicated couple. But we have
gotten caught up.
Yeah, we definitely had a couple that we played with early on that we leaned on a lot, and they leaned on us a lot as like our favorites, I guess. And it got to be where we had to look at each other and say, "Is this what we want? Is this the road that we want to go down?"
Yeah.
Because it was so familiar, and it wasn't what we were looking for. We love them dearly.
Yeah. I mean, they're still really good friends of ours, but it's something that we've learned from, that we actually take on now. It kind of shaped how we swing, if you want to say it in that way.
We're very cautious.
We're very cautious about our relationships that we build with friends that we may play with. And we kind of put a boundary in between, like how close that sexual relationship gets. Sorry.
Yeah. And we're always like very careful to ask, are you okay with this? Are you good? Like, okay, if we hung out with you two and you brought in another couple to hang out with us and you said, it's all fair game, guys, we would definitely check in with you guys and say, are you sure we can talk to your friends? Is that okay? Like, we don't want to cross that boundary. We don't want any mixed feelings or confusion.
So let me just explain. So you guys mentioned before, like when it was a time that we've gotten our hands slapped. Now, this is a time we've gotten our hands slapped together. Which is how we got here as far as consent and all of that. We want to make sure that everybody is on the same page. We've had our really close friends kind of get into a tip of a jealous match because we played with some friends that they bought in.
Yeah.
So we got our hand slapped. So we've learned from that. Now, if people bring other friends, we say, is everybody good? Are you sure you're okay with your friend playing with me?
Right. Yeah. And in a way, we still feel, we talk about this a lot with other couples or friends that we might meet as neutral parties. We still feel like that was kind of an unfair judgment. We felt judged by our very close friends because, the expectation was there that we were all swingers and we're all going to hang out and party. But it was like a possessiveness that they felt over us, that if we were to have fun or intercourse or sex or whatever you want to call it with the friends, that we crossed a boundary.
A boundary we didn't even know was there. So,
Right.
so that was one of the things that it kind of changed the way we just do things.
Yeah.
Going forward, because we want to make sure that everybody's okay,
everybody's
and clear,
good,
and there's no miscommunication about what that boundary is.
Right.
So we,
yeah, no, but it also sounds too like the friends that you've made are not just friends that you have sex with, right? I mean, if they're coming to your wedding, it sounds like these are friendships that are meaningful to you besides just the fact that you have sex together on occasion.
Yeah. So many of them.
Yeah.
I dare to say that there are more people that we have not had sex with than the ones that we have, who are swingers and who are very close to us. But we look at them all equally as just valuable people in our lives, and we would have never found without this lifestyle. Yeah, and we found that lifestyle people are so open and so giving and so friendly. Not to say that vanilla people aren't, but you would think, I guess, like an assumption that you would make is that people were kind of like would be possessive over their partner, but people are just so giving and so sharing and so supportive of your journey and any trouble that your relationship may be going through. We've seen all the ups and downs of people's relationships and how their swinger friends just kind of mob in to lift you back up. You know what I mean? And it's been exciting. It's been really rewarding to see going through this journey.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It's amazing. Are you guys out to other people in your lives, your family and friends?
At least his brother.
Well, your brother.
Yeah, just my brother and sister-in-law, my two best friends. Your best friend knows.
Yeah, my best friend actually helped me set up the podcast.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah.
Our parents and stuff, they don't know because they don't need to know. Parents. Like, they don't know we have sex. I mean, we have a baby, so they know, but they don't know. They don't want to hear about it.
You just did it that one time.
That one time. That's it. Like, the kids,
no,
they don't know, but the oldest, she knows that we have a podcast. And the way that came out was kind of funny because we have our studio in the basement, and when we get loud, we start talking and cursing and, the whole nine, and the kitchen is right above us. And so one day we had to just kind of break it to her because she has to babysit the babies. And we said, you know what? Hey, we actually do a podcast. And she says, oh, I know. You guys are loud. They're like, oh, okay, well, sorry. As long as you don't know what the podcast
what we're talking about.
Right.
Exactly.
So she hasn't come to you with questions at all?
Nope.
No, she hasn't. Thank goodness.
No.
Yeah, like right now she's babysitting because we have a conference call.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not a lie.
No. I was like, having a built-in babysitter like that is pretty handy.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully she decides to do local college and hang out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that you guys have started exploring the kink side of things, and that was new. And you said you discovered some things that you didn't know maybe that you were into at that point.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that either of you have discovered that like you didn't know about 7 years ago, or that you've experienced in the last couple of years that you never thought you would get to experience?
It's a good question. For me, it's actually watching her have sex. I didn't know that I was going to get that much enjoyment out of it. I knew that we wanted to have sex with other people, but I didn't realize how much of a voyeur I am just by watching her perform as my own personal porn star. watching the way she moves and controls the situation. She's a very dominant woman, if you can't tell. She will put me in my place.
No, I'm a soft pussycat. For me, it would be actually, so I don't like watching porn. That's not my thing. If watching porn, it doesn't do anything for me at all. But watching people have sex live is like me watching porn. Like I have to see it in person rather it being on the TV. I don't know if it's a mental block or what happens, but it's nothing that you can show me on TV yet to this day that I'm just sitting there like,
she just hasn't found the right one yet.
That's what he says. We've been through this, and I don't get turned on.
Challenge accepted.
Right.
But in person, it's like a light switch. I immediately like get turned on, and I'm ready to go. But I can't watch it on TV. And also sex toys. I mean, we've been through some interesting sex toys. I think I am external more than internal.
Tell what that means.
So external, I enjoy external stimulations than I do internally. Internal is not that great for me. So any type of vibrator that goes in doesn't really do that much for me. But external, I enjoy that a lot.
That's a really important thing to learn.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's right. I mean, she sat on top of a, what's that thing called?
Sybian?
Sybian.
Yes.
Bingo. Did nothing. I mean, the shit was shaking the floor like a tank was riding by. Did nothing.
I was sitting there literally like, it's when is something supposed to happen? Because there's nothing happening right now. So it's not a thing. And that was a big letdown for you because you was looking forward to it.
I really was. I was looking forward to that.
It didn't do nothing for me.
But give her a wand and she's good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yep. And we just discovered the Lilo.
Oh yes, the Lilo. I just got that recently
with the sucker, the clit sucker.
So it sucks and vibrates and has all these settings that I haven't figured all out yet.
But it works. That's the point, right?
It works, right?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say one of the bonuses to that external is that you can use that in conjunction with a partner and it works really well.
Yes.
Not that I've ever tried it, but I've heard stories.
I love it.
When we were talking about coming out and everything, and you talk about your wedding, and you said you had your surprise wedding, and then you went to the club that night. How did you handle that with family and such? Did you just wait till everyone to leave?
No, bye. Everybody gotta go.
It was like you all have a good night. Leave now.
Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it.
Because I feel like that's hard, right?
It was tough. It was tough, but we had a nice group of people who were dedicated to cleaning up and helping get rid of family members. And they just said, go ahead, you guys get out of here. Have a good time. And
we'll lock your house up. It'll be fine. I was like, okay.
Yep.
Cool. So you had good wingmen then.
We did. Yes. The best. It was awesome. Yeah.
I think that's the first ever wedding night swing club story we've ever heard.
I think one of the first,
I mean, we've heard of people getting married at Desire, but I feel like this is like we had a wedding and then we went to the swingers club.
Yeah. And honestly, for the wedding, we were very nervous about that because we weren't sure how it was going to go. Because literally we had LS friends there with our regular family and friends. So it was kind of like, all right, you guys know how to act, right? You know how to dodge any type of weird question. Just figure it out. So, and they did a good job because our family was like, who are all these attractive people? Because they all migrated to the same table somehow. They all sat together and they all knew each other or knew someone and they started talking. So you have this whole group of sexy people.
Swingers at one table.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
And then your family and friends are like, who are these people? I've never seen them before.
Yep.
But they played it off and figured it out and mingled in it was nothing was going on.
That's it.
Wow.
Well, then you figured it out.
Friends,
yeah.
Awesome. Well, so maybe 2-ish last questions.
One more too.
Oh, you have one more? Well, go ahead. Three-ish.
You said you want a trip to Hito. Have you been to the resorts, and do you like that environment?
Yeah, so we just got back from Desire in November. That was our first time back in Desire in a few years. Yep. We haven't been in a while, and they did remodel, some upgrades and things like that. So that was our first time back, and we liked it. Yeah. So there's a difference. Everybody knows there's a big difference between Hito and Desire, and the difference is that Hito is more known for like party all the time, and Desire, if you talk to people, is known for more being like more chill, but they have better amenities and so forth and things like that. So all those things are true, except recently we also went to Jamaica in February for a wedding, which was in the Grill. So of course, our hotel was literally 10 minutes down the beach walk
to Hito.
To Hito. So we got a day pass and we went to Hito. And it was a whole different experience.
It was like Club Med. It was just like hanging out.
There was no
water
party.
Aerobics. It was just like, damn it. We kind of missed the mark on this one.
Yeah.
No shade to Hito. We just caught him on the wrong day.
So, and what we learned is that the times we went, because we've been to Hito 3 times. That was our third?
Twice. Yeah, that was our third. Mm-hmm.
We've been to Hito 3 times, but the 2 times we went, we always went at the same time with the same group. And that was with young swingers.
Oh,
we went the first year by accident and had no idea, but it was a great time. And then the second year we on purpose went with that group the second year. So when we went to Hito this time, we're expecting the exact same type of experience.
And it wasn't.
But it wasn't.
Yeah. But it was okay.
So we just learned that it does matter. And we talked about this during our show. It matters who you go with, like what time you're going.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah. It definitely does.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we've seen, and we've only been with one group, and that was to Desire, but we've heard from lots of other people that like they've been with a group and they've been without a group, and just knowing that there's a group of people there with some type of common understanding of what you're there for really helps. Even though like everyone's like, well, we're here at a sex club, we understand that.
Right.
But like there's a little more to it. There's another layer that kind of binds people together. And I think that really takes it to a different level. Right? So that's fantastic.
Does. I definitely agree. However, we did get lucky when we went to Desire in November. We just basically planned it around the baby.
So our baby turned a year old, and this was my push gift for having a baby. And we went to Desire, and it was around Veterans Day.
Yes. Yep. It was around Veterans Day. We just basically planned it around the holiday after the baby turned a year. And we got lucky. And it was some hot people there. It was a good party. It was just a good mix. It was a good mix of people and very open, very welcoming. Like I said, we got very lucky. It was awesome. Made some good friends, some people that we're still in touch with, and we hopefully we'll keep in touch with for the long term. It was great.
Cool.
So I think at both places, it just matters
it's all about your timing.
When you're going and who's there.
Yeah, no, it's perfect advice. And that's not to say if you don't go with the group that you're going to have a shitty time.
Right.
Exactly.
No, right. No.
So maybe then leading us into how you two navigate maybe the safety aspect of this. That's something we'd love to talk about with our guests to kind of let people know maybe if this is their first time that like it is a huge component of this, navigating this sexual safety and just physical safety is key.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's all about watching her cues. I mean, she's not one to bite her tongue. So for anyone who feels that they might be a little timid or they might be sacrificing themselves, taking one for the team, as it were, you shouldn't feel that way. Like, hopefully you'll be able to find a way to have comfort and be able to rely on your partner to say how you're really feeling in this situation. That, something doesn't feel right, or this person might be grabbing you inappropriately. You have to be able to voice your opinion on that. And again, I'm very lucky that Tryst will not hesitate to tell me something or, or pull me aside and say, someone is not making me happy.
Yes. We just say we have a team meeting. Come here. Let me talk to you about something. And we've had situations where the females were being like very aggressive, and we had to have a team huddle meeting with each other and be like, so look, this is how we're about to get out of this situation.
And as far as safe sex practices, I mean, we always use protection. We use protection on toys.
Yes.
She's very big on cleaning her toys, like right after. Almost OCD.
Yeah, I was like, stop.
Running bare ass to the bathroom to clean her toys. But it's all about not bringing anything home. We want to just have fun, do what this is supposed to be. It's just enjoyment. You're making good friends. It's an activity that we share together. There's no reason to take unnecessary risks. I mean, we're already taking some, but let's minimize the risk.
Yeah, I always say that being in LS is like dating, as in when you were single, right? So when I was single, I would go get STD tests. I would, go get your HIV test, and have condoms and birth control. Whatever you do, is when I was single to protect myself. It's the same in the lifestyle. It doesn't change that aspect because you're doing it with your partner. No, you're still doing it with other people. So you need to take those precautions.
I agree.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I would say, you're being generous in that you assume lots of other people are getting STI tests and doing that in the single world, but it's fantastic to hear that you were and that you're continuing to. So thank you for promoting it. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right.
So as you have heard, if you listen to the show, we love to ask people about bloopers. So do you have a fun blooper, just maybe a funny instance that you'd want to share?
Sure. I got my funny blooper.
Go ahead.
You know my funny blooper. So embarrassing. So
we all have one. It's okay.
So we were at our local lifestyle club, Taboo, and in Taboo you have one of the playrooms, and the playroom has like an elevated bed where you have to climb up like a small flight of stairs to get to the bed. It's just like a little small set of stairs. Like as soon as you open the door, you see the stairs in the bed. Now we were young and adventurous, and we were going into this room, and I felt like it was cool to go ahead and leave the door unlocked. Let's see if anybody comes in. Yeah, I like to show off a little bit. So we left the door open to see if any spectators would come by. So Tryst is up on the bed, and I believe I was eating her out and just tasting her, and while my feet were kind of on the stairs, and then I worked my way up to start having sex with her, and then someone walks in the door, and I don't know if they startled me maybe, or just because maybe I had my socks on, I don't know. I slipped down the stairs and like bust my knee. I kind of fell completely out of the pussy and almost went tumbling down the stairs.
You gotta get out.
Yeah, you guys gotta get out of here. Get out of here now. And I was like totally embarrassed. I'm sure I turned beet red and closed and locked the door. I don't know if my erection came back. I can't.
He was like, I'm done. You gotta go.
Terribly embarrassed.
Get out.
It was a tough one. Not my other saddest moment.
That was funny though.
But at least you could laugh about it.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely laugh about it after I got some Neosporin on my knee. And a Band-Aid. I was good to go.
Good to go.
Well, we wanted to also give you guys a little bit of time here at the end to promote your show. So if you want to talk a little bit about
where people can find it, how they can tune in, what they can expect.
Sure. Well, if you want to email us, anybody can email us at thesweetlifepodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on IG at The Sweet Life Podcast, or you can follow us on Twitter at Sweet Life Pod. And you can definitely check us out on our YouTube channel, Livin The Suite Life Podcast. We host our show 2 times a month.
Yes.
Every 2 weeks, unless we're doing like a pre-recorded show, in which we'll let everybody know, where we'll stream live and we'll open up the suite and we'll engage with our followers, or we call them our sweet talkers.
Oh, sweet talkers.
Yeah, and we'll have the live chat, and we're answering questions live. We thought it was great to be able to provide instant feedback to people who might have questions. So we always open the door. We'll throw out a topic, and people can just ask questions about whatever, and we'll do our best to answer them. If we can't, we'll email you or we'll hit you up on one of the social media platforms.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And it's cool that you found a little bit different twist on it too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. Keeps us on our toes. Keeps us sharp.
Yeah. It's always fun when you get that question and you're like, I don't have a good answer, but you want to play it off cool. So I'm sure that's never happened to you guys, but
definitely has. But that's when you lean on the other sweet talkers.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does anyone want to come jump in here?
Yeah,
that's
Yes.
right.
Does anybody know the answer to this?
That's right.
I know that's great. It is about the community, right? And you can't be expected to have all the answers. So fantastic.
That's right.
And we'll make sure to put links to everything you just mentioned in the show notes. And
so people can find you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
And
thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us, for coming on, sharing your story. And it was a blast.
Yeah. No, thank you so much.
Thank
it has
you, guys.
been a pleasure. Thanks a lot, guys.
Oh, and we're back. I almost said welcome back.
Almost. You almost messed it up. Thank you, Loq and Tryst and Loq.
I was going to say, correct you.
I know. You can't correct me. That's my job.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for the laughs, for the fun times. We enjoyed chatting, and we're excited that you reached out. So thank you for that. And go check out their show. It's a lot of fun. Listen to a couple of them. So give them a listen.
Yeah, hop on the live Q&As and you can ask them a question directly.
Yeah, we might even make a guest appearance at some point.
We might.
All right. What's happening next week?
Next week, we have an interview with Aubrey and Jason. They have a website called meetthemavericks.com. Well, yeah, .com.
Well, it could have been .org or
That's
.xxx.
True. That's true. meetthemavericks.com.
Yeah, they are amazing people, and it's not even really a lifestyle blog. They're just honestly out there.
It's a life blog.
It's a life blog. They're out there living their best life. They have basically come out fully and are just living unashamed. And it's fantastic. And we're excited to have them on and hear their story and share it with the world. So between now and then, go give it a read. And I will say you won't be disappointed if you stumble across some of their pictures.
That's true.
His abs are almost as good as mine.
Yeah, so are hers.
As good as mine?
And mine.
And yours, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we know things are pretty crazy right now, and we just wanted to tell everyone thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for those of you who are still reaching out to us. We love hearing from you, and you can find us at normalizingnonmonogamy.com. Thank you for listening. We love you all.